Remember, there's the comfort zone and there's a terror barrier. And up here is peace with awareness. This is levels of awareness as you go up. And to staying ignorant is staying comfortable, staying in society's program system. But as you come out of it, as you're like, you know what? Nah, I want to be in control. I want the life that I want. I don't want the life somebody else told me to want. I want what I want to have. What up, y'all? It's your bro with God. Today I'm talking about the awareness terror barrier and also the comfort zone. Since we've been talking about reprogramming our subconscious programming and we're talking about what is true, what is natural, what's gonna happen is you're gonna hit this terror barrier because you're gonna find out more and more and more of what's being programmed into you that's not true, that is false, and what you've been believing. And while doing this, you're gonna be taking ownership of things. You're gonna be learning more and more that what happens to you and what goes on is all under your control. That comes with some negative emotions that we call the terror barrier. Now, why do people not want to be woke? Like, why do people avoid being woke? Why do people choose ignorance over thought? Why do people choose submission over free will? One answer to this is that everyone wants peace, but people have a misconception of peace. People think that peace is comfort. And society programs comfort as an absence of work. What is work? Work is an action needed to be done in order to achieve an outcome. But what is peace? Peace is positive energy activates constant elevation. So we need to be in a positive state of mind, surround ourselves with a positive circle, be in a positive environment, and see things from a positive point of view. So that way our energy could activate and constantly elevate us. What are we elevating? We are elevating our awareness. What is our awareness trying to figure out? What are we trying to figure out? We're trying to figure out that we're God, basically. We're trying to figure out everything we're able to do. We're trying to figure out how we could get whatever we imagine into this third dimensional reality. Because your imagination could do anything. Your imagination can destroy anything. Your imagination can create anything. Now, there are rules and there are laws put in place, universal laws, natural laws. And who put that in place? God. Who is God? Us. And since we are God, we gotta remember who the fuck we are. Because if we remember who the fuck we are and we learn how to read our signs, it's like, let's say you know you're gonna get amnesia, right? Like, you know you about to get amnesia. Let's say the doctor says, hey, in 3 months, you're gonna get amnesia. So what do? You're gonna leave subliminal signs for yourself to remember who the fuck you are. And that's what God does. I told ya with nature, God leaves subliminal signs to let you know what is true, what is not true, to let you know what the laws are. A lot of these laws are being hidden from us, so that way someone else's imagination is coming into fruition, because we all have free will. And for an imagination to come into 3D fruition even faster, it means that everybody else that had not used their imagination. A collective mind creates faster. That's why they're always trying to program your belief. Now, what is this terror barrier? It's layers of negative energy, layers of low frequency, a low vibration. What we notice with negative energy, with negative vibrations, right? Low vibrations, is that after you are in these vibrations, or when you feel these vibrations, or when you're in this state for a certain amount of time, what happens when you get out of it is that you feel fucking drained. So negative feelings, negative vibrations drain your energy. Positive feelings don't leave you drained. You never been like mad happy, mad excited, and all of a sudden you're like, oh man, I'm so tired of being happy, so tired of being excited. I'm so tired of being turned on. Nobody ever says that shit. You're tired of being angry. You're tired of being sad. You're tired of being scared, which is the terror barrier. The first layer of the terror barrier is fear. What does fear make you do? What do people do when they're scared? They move back. So fear makes you move back. Remember, there's the comfort zone and there's a terror barrier. And up here is peace with awareness. This is levels of awareness as you go up. And to staying ignorant is staying comfortable, staying in society's program system. But as you come out of it, as you're like, you know what? Nah, yo, I want to be in control. I want the life that I want. I don't want the life somebody else told me to want. I want what I want to have. The first layer you hit is going to be fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Meaning that because our brains, we're trying to picture everything in advance to give ourselves, to basically save ourselves from pain and shit, we put ourselves in pain, like we're programmed to picture bad shit happening. And that's fear, right? So it's meant to make you move back. So once you start getting more aware and shit, then you're like, oh, I don't like what I see. You move back. Once your awareness gets you scared, once you start peeling off the lies and seeing what is true, you get scared at first. So now you move back. You go back to the comfort zone. The next layer, after you get past being scared, because this is how overcoming these negative emotions work. At the end of the day, you got to become aware that you are in control of everything. The way to take control of everything is to take ownership of everything. So at first, when you hit any negative emotion in the terror barrier, what happens is a regret that's attached to that feeling. So you're gonna get hit with a regret that makes you scared, something that reminds you of something you're scared of. And the first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna disempower yourself, meaning that you're gonna say it's not your fault, that you are out of control. It's because of your parents, it's because of your friends, it's because of your environment, it's because of your job. Basically you're gonna blame everything else and not you. And that's gonna make you even more scared and make you feel less in control. So what happens is now you're gonna take ownership, you're gonna take all that shit and put it on yourself. Now you're in control. But what happens when you're in control, when you take control of that? Now you have self-regret of you're scared of the shit that you could do. You're scared of yourself now. So you're scared of yourself. Now you got to get past that. How you get past that? You got to continue asking questions. You got to continue thinking. Because what happens is as we're getting aware, what we're doing is that we're researching, we're asking questions. And the more questions we ask, the better we get at asking questions. So our first level of questions, our first level of thought process gets us scared. The next level of thought process is going to make us sad. That's the next layer of the terror barrier, is sadness, depression. So fear makes you move back. Sadness and depression keeps you still. Now you're stuck. You're like, you don't want to move. You don't want to do shit. You don't want to move back. And then once again, regret comes. Now you're remembering things that other people did to you, your parents, society and shit like that. And you're like, oh man, I can't believe this happened to me. Why you did that, and then you feel like you have no fucking control. But then as you keep on asking questions, you keep on learning, now you take control, you take ownership, and you put it all on yourself. Now you're like, all right, I'm the reason for this. And now you're sad and depressed because of yourself. Now you're like, damn, I made myself sad. I made myself depressed. And the best way to get out of that emotion is to keep asking questions. You got to keep moving. You can't stop because you're scared. You can't stop because you're sad. Remember, fear makes you move back. Sadness keeps you still. The next layer of the terror barrier, which is like the last negative emotion, is anger. And anger is also a negative emotion, but it could be used certain ways because anger makes you want to do something. But it can make you want to do something that will set you back even farther. You could get yourself hurt. You could fuck up your life. You could get yourself enslaved. There's so much shit that anger could do. Anger is very dangerous, but it's also powerful at the same time. So you gotta know how to utilize that anger. So as you keep getting aware, as you keep learning shit, as you start seeing things clearer, now shit is making you mad. Now you tight. You're like, yo, what? They ain't black people do what? They said women were what? They said being gay was what? Now you're getting mad. You feel me? And then first, you're mad at society, you're mad at the government, you're mad at teachers, you're mad at everybody, right? And then you take ownership, you take control, because feeling out of control, blaming other people takes you out of control. So you gotta take ownership. You gotta be like, I bet. All right, so shit. Now you mad at yourself. Now you're like, damn, I'm in this situation because of me. I'm the one that did that shit. I'm the reason why this person talked to me like that. The way I carry myself, the way I talk was the reason why this person tests me and shit. I'm the reason that this person cheated on me and shit. Like your thought process is the reason for everything. Your subconscious mind, subconscious programming, right? You take control of that. You take control. You're mad at yourself now. How you get over being mad at yourself? You keep asking questions. You keep looking for answers. Remember, knock and the door shall be open. Ask and ye shall receive. So you keep asking questions. Once you get past anger, now you get to a level of peace. Once you get past the terror barrier in your awareness, now when you're learning shit, when you're seeing shit, you're not scared. Well, you still get scared, you still get sad, you still get angry, but you know how to deal with them. You don't feel those for too long. As soon as something gets you scared, you're like, I bet. You take ownership, take control. All right, why am I scared? Da-da-da-da-da. You ask questions. Then, you start feeling sad. Now you're like, shit, why am I feeling sad? Why am I feeling bad about this? You take ownership. You ask more questions. Damn, why am I tight? Why am I being angry? Who should I be mad at? Da-da-da. Now you're like, you know what? Ain't no point in being angry because I'm in fucking control. And if I'm in control, I don't need to be angry. You feel me? And then you go through that process. And then you get to peace. Remember, peace, positive, energy, activates, constant elevation. You take full control, and now when you're aware, when you're learning shit, you're at peace with it. You're like, oh, okay, that's what happened. All right, well, I could do this now. Well, now, and then you feel more powerful, you feel more optimistic, you feel stronger, and you develop this thing we call courage. You have a solid ground to stand on now. You develop your own foundation. Now, when you're reprogramming yourself, you feel like you could see the finish line. Like you know what you're gonna be, you know where you're trying to go and shit. You feel totally empowered. And that's the last layer. Well, that's not the last layer. Obviously, the last layer is when you are fully involved in like your God power, basically. But anyway, so remember, avoid the comfort zone. The comfort zone is not peace. The comfort zone is basically an absence of work, what's needed to be done to achieve a goal. And then you're gonna face a terror barrier. Remember, you're gonna get scared. Don't be afraid of being scared. You're gonna be sad. Don't worry about that. You're gonna be mad after you're sad. You're gonna be mad that you were sad. And then after you get past all that, like you're gonna feel empowered. And that feeling you get after you mad, after you're tight, the energy, the skills you get, the hard skin you get after and shit, right? The way you could talk to people, the way you address people, the way people address you, the respect you get, all changes. All right. It's your boy the God. I'll catch you the next time. One.